How did early explorers navigate the Arctic? Imagine venturing into the icy vastness of the Arctic, where the sun can be your best friend or your worst enemy, and the stars are your only guides. Early explorers faced this daunting task with limited tools, yet their methods were remarkably effective. One of the primary tools they used was the compass. This simple instrument allowed them to establish a rough direction, whether it was true north or magnetic north. However, as they moved further away from Europe, the difference between true and magnetic north became more significant, which could lead to navigation errors. Another crucial tool was the sextant. By measuring the angle of the sun or the North Star above the horizon, navigators could determine their latitude or how far north or south of the equator they were. This was done using either a quadrant or an astrolabe, which were essentially heavy metal plates or staffs with scales to measure these angles. For longitude, which is the east-west position, things were more complicated. Before GPS, explorers relied on dead reckoning, which involved tracking their speed and direction of travel to estimate their position. They used sledge odometers to measure distance traveled and took regular sightings with a sextant to calculate their exact position. However, this method required an accurate chronometer, and overcast days made it nearly impossible to take these sightings. In addition to these tools, explorers used natural landmarks and simple techniques. Mountains, nunataks, and other visible features served as navigational aids. They also built large snow cairns and established caches near these landmarks to help guide them. A simple technique involved using shadows to set a rough bearing. By knowing the local time and the direction of the shadow, they could maintain a course. Dog sleds and the knowledge of indigenous peoples were also vital. Indigenous guides provided crucial information about the terrain, weather patterns, and safe routes, which were essential for surviving the harsh Arctic conditions. Navigators also used common sense and observation. They watched for land birds, which indicated nearby land, and observed swarms of fish and kelp to identify shallows. The usual direction of winds and cloud types were all part of their intuitive navigation skills. In summary, early Arctic explorers navigated using a combination of compasses, sextants, dead reckoning, natural landmarks, and the knowledge of indigenous peoples. These methods, though rudimentary, were effective in the face of the Arctic's challenging environment.